Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Business Blitz. And today we'll speak, or actually I will speak to you about culture. It's the beginning of the year and you should be thinking about culture. New year is the new opportunity for you to change something in your company or in your division or in your cohort and start fresh, start new. And culture is what a lot of gurus right out there talk about. Is actually a lot of what I talk about as well, if you consider me a guru of some sort. And for many years, my company, Synergy 3 Home Solutions, has been known and still known as a company with great culture. And it's discussed many times, but when you start asking people, okay, what is the culture? Some can give it, a certain definition, some can't. And I was always looking for a solution that I can use for my company to have all the culture things that we do, and it's a lot, under one roof. And honestly, I got tired, and this is how many great products and great things being born is someone has a pain, someone's trying to fix this pain for themselves, and then he sees that what he did is great, and then he start offering to other people. So this is what I'm doing today. I'm telling you that I've built a great app, a great software called 360 Synergy, right? There's no way around word synergy, because culture is you have to be synergetic to have a good culture. So in a nutshell, guys, it's a small sales pitch, but to give you some ideas too. You don't have to buy, obviously, at the end of the video if you're not interested, but you might want to pick up some things that what the culture is, what aspects of a culture you have, what you don't have. To give you an idea, I was presenting at HVC seminar, and I was telling people at the seminar that we celebrate everyone's birthday, and we celebrate everyone's work anniversary, and people were shocked. So it tells me that, guys, you have, everyone, even us, we have ways to go and improvement. It never stops. And some people really at the bottom, you have to celebrate someone's birthday. Come on, right? So in our app, what we've combined is very important things. For example, goals and priorities. It has to be part of the culture. You want your people to know where company is going. There's a section for company message, where you can tell your mission, you can tell your core values, you can tell your KPIs, your brand promise. So it's on the palm of everyone's hand. And to give you a hint, that's one of the main reasons for this app is for your people to be interested and involved in what's going on in your business. Because if they leave work, and sometimes they're on TikTok during work, right? So if they leave work and they forget about your company, that's not a good thing. You want them to be subconsciously involved or consciously involved also in the life of the company after hours. And that's the only way to get there, is to, through culture, through events, right? So we have a section for newsletter. If you want to make announcements, this was one of the cornerstones of our culture in 2020 and 2021. It was a weekly newsletter that I was making. We have a section for org chart. It's very important for everyone to know, who's responsible for what, especially in the bigger organizations. Org chart is essential, and we made it very easy for you guys. And one of the key things we have is events, right? Where you can, when someone signs up for 360 Synergy, mandatory questions are your birthday, and one of the main mandatory questions is when did you start working? So then those dates automatically populate to the events calendar. So immediately, let's say you have 20 people, immediately upon signing them all up, you have 40 events in your company. Otherwise, you have to remember. Otherwise, you might have HR, you might not have HR. Does he remember? Does he forget? And let me tell you, when we didn't have this system, we would forget. And people would get upset, because if you celebrate 90% of people's anniversaries or birthdays and you forget about 10%, those 10% will get upset. You have to be consistent with the culture for it to be a real culture. You almost have to be 100% consistent. We have a knowledge base where people can ask questions. We of course implemented AI, and we fed the AI all the documents. We have all the policies and manuals and FAQs, and people can go and ask question. How do I do this in the company? How do I do that in the company? Again, especially for smaller to mid-size, where when you don't have the HR, this is your HR. This is a very big weapon for you to not be distracted during work. And then one of the part of the culture is pre-hire, in my opinion. How do you pre-hire people? What do you show right away? Do you have a document security? Do you have ease of filling out all the paperwork that people need to pre-hire? And of course, the element of culture is fun, right? We have a leaderboard. One of the main tools that this app offers is Google review engine for your technicians, or for your salespeople, or for your CSR, for whoever it is. So we have a leaderboard, and at the end of the month, winner gets, and many times winner gets $500. People have their own personal profile where they also can see everything. They can see leaderboards. They can see the reviews. They can see. They can set their goals. It's very important, very key. Last 3-4 meetings that I had with everybody here is goals, goals, goals. It's the beginning of the year. You need goals. You need to set goals. You need to see them daily. You need to see them visibly. There's a way for your team members to send you their mood feedback. How do you feel today? Click of a button, and you have an analytics to see how the mood changes. We've built anonymous feedback. So if someone wants to share something with me and they don't really want to know, right? They don't want me to know who it's coming from, they can send it through the app anonymously. There's many other different things, like onboarding is a big one, very important for someone to start working in your company, right? So guys, there's many features I can talk to you about, but if anything, I would want you to take away is the events. The culture is in my opinion is everything but the work. The work itself is boring, is hard, is daunting, it's repetitive. There's got to be a life in the company outside of work. So if all you got in your company is the guys, chatting in the garage, offices, drinking coffee, then they go whatever, and then you go whatever, you're not gonna win. You need synergetic team of people in order to win, especially now, especially with young generation coming on board. They don't understand. Everything has to be a game. It has to be something. It has to be a little bit of fun. So if you have none of that, I guarantee you're going to lose. So if anything I want you to take away today is get some events going. It's very easy. Find me on LinkedIn, sign up. We'll get you onboarded really quick, and you can elevate your culture within days. I guarantee you that. If not, we'll give you your money back, okay? Thanks for watching.